Hello there, first graders. So today's lesson is going to be a review of some of the things you guys learned last year about how to solve small problems. So last year, you learned from Kelso about 9 different ways to solve small problems. You probably recognize this poster right here. So you can see there's Kelso and there's the 9 different ways that we learned about to solve small problems. So that is what we learned and practiced a lot last year. So hopefully a lot of this is familiar. Now this year though, you guys are first graders, so we're going to make it a little bit more adult. So this year, this is the poster we're going to be using. So here's this poster. You can see now we have kids instead of Kelso, so some boys and girls your age and a little bit older. And you can see it's broken in half. With one side, it's saying verbal, and one side says nonverbal, so the green and the orange. So what that means is, so verbal and nonverbal, you don't need to remember that. I might use it a little bit, but it's really just a fancy way of saying talking and non-talking. So a verbal way to solve a small problem is a talking way to solve a small problem. So if you're doing a verbal way to solve a small problem, that means you're talking in some way. You might be asking someone to please stop. You might be making a deal. You might be talking it out. You're talking. Nonverbal, so therefore nonverbal means what? That's right, nonverbal means not talking. Nonverbal means you are not talking. So these are the ones where we're not going to be talking, but that's how we're going to deal with a small problem. Now, some of these, I want you guys to understand, isn't really solving the small problem, but it's a really good way to deal with the small problem so that hopefully it goes away. The talking ones are usually solving, and the nonverbal, non-talking ones are usually a way of just kind of dealing with the problem and kind of hoping it goes away on its own. So the nonverbal ones are ignore, which you guys should remember is my favorite one to use at school, not at home. That's the one I tend to use at school. And that's where you are ignoring whoever is bothering you. So you don't look at them, you don't talk to them, you just keep your eyes on the teacher or the adult that's talking, you keep your voice off. You don't pay any attention to the person who is bothering you no matter how much they start bugging you. So that's ignore. Then we have walk away, which is just like ignore, only you get up and you go somewhere else. You walk away from the person who's bothering you. Can't always do this one in school because, if you're at your desk doing work, you can't just get up and leave. The teacher would want to know what you're doing, but you could get up and go talk to the teacher. At home, maybe you could do that. If you have a brother or a sister or a cousin or somebody who's kind of bugging you, maybe you could get up and go into a different room. That's walk away. So ignore and walk away are almost exactly the same, only with walk away you actually get up and move, ignore you stay where you are. And then we have go to another game. Go to another game, just like walk away, it's something you're only going to use if you're playing something. So if you're playing a game with somebody and you feel like they're not playing fair or they're being mean or they're bothering you, you can just get up and go to another game. Now, you don't have to say anything to the person when you go to another game because this is a non-talking one. You can just get up and move. But I'm also okay with you just saying, I'm going to go play this game over here or something like that to let the person know you're moving. And the last one is wait and cool off. Now that one's a lot different, and you guys should have some practice with this from the zones. Wait and cool off is where you're going to get up, or you're going to move away if you can, or turn away from the person who's bothering you, and you're going to do something to calm yourself down. So you're going to take some deep breaths. Maybe you count to 10. Maybe you talk to an adult. Maybe, if you can, you draw for a minute. Something to calm yourself down. And then you're going to go back and try to talk to the person who is bothering you using a calm voice. So wait and cool off. You're going to kind of get away so you're not looking at that person who's bugging you. You've got to do something to calm yourself down. Deep breaths, count to 10, count to 20. Do something. Make sure you're calm because you have to use a calm voice. And we're going to talk about that a lot. Again, you guys should remember it when we talk about the verbal or the talking ways to solve small problems. Have to use a calm voice. And like I said, I'll get into that again later. But those are our 4 nonverbal, non-talking ways to solve a small problem. So Mr. Ginion has agreed to help us learn about those 4 non-talking, nonverbal ways to solve small problems. So he's going to give us some examples, and then you guys can practice this at home or you can practice it at school. These are really good ways in school to kind of just stay focused on your work or focused on what you're doing and ignore the person who is bothering you. Don't give them any attention. All right, enjoy.
Mr. G, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, can I tell you something I did this weekend? Can I tell you? I mean, work is so boring. We don't need to work right now. Come on. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G. Mr. G.
Mr. Kramer, can we talk about this a little later?
Later.
I'd like to calm down a little bit. Can we just talk about it when I have this done, and then we can make sure we get everything. We can talk about it when we're both ready.
All right, I guess I can go tell that kid over there. This game is so boring. Do we have to play this game? I don't really want to play this game. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh, hey, that's not fair. I think you're cheating. You should have to go back a few squares.
I think I'm going to let you play this game, and I'm going to go find something else to do.
Oh, come on. I mean, just because you're cheating, fine. Hey, what are you guys doing over there? Oh, man, this is such a baby game. Why are you playing such a baby game, Mr. G? Look at this game. Ow! Ah, that doesn't taste very good. Mr. G, why don't you play a different game? Look at me, look at me, look at me. No, you're boring. I'm going to go somewhere else.